Welcome back to the Indie Beauty Network vlog. Today we're talking about content types. These are 5 general content types you should have on your Instagram. And let me preface this with, you need content on your Instagram. I wish I didn't have to say that, but I do see brands that just haven't gotten started with their content yet, and that's fine, you know, if that's the stage that you're in. But I do see brands that will have a really beautiful ad running and have not posted anything else to their Instagram. That's a big no-no. That really is, you're wasting your time, because what are people gonna do? They're gonna go to your profile, they're gonna want to see more. You know, in a perfect world, they would click on your ad and go straight to your website, but they might just click on your profile and wanna see your Instagram feed before they decide to go to your website. And if there's not much to see and they can't really peruse and see what you do and see what you're all about on Instagram, they're likely not gonna wanna see your website. That's just how it is this day and age. Everybody expects you to be branded on Instagram and now on TikTok too, I'm sorry to say, but it's just a part of branding. It is just a part of branding, whether it's making you sales or not. I'm sorry to say, it's a part of branding. You have to have a somewhat active Instagram account. You just do. It is your chance to let people in, to let them see your process, to connect with them, to give them more information, to help them make an informed decision, to entertain them. And now I'm getting into all the different content types, so let's just get into that before I get ahead of myself here. And this is specifically for beauty brands, especially this first one on the content types that you should have. And number 1, it is texture shots, especially if you're a skincare brand, or even if you're, you know, hair care, anything that's gonna have texture. And even makeup, you can still show texture. You can do those makeup destroying videos. I know it's hard to cut into a nice clean smooth palette, but those videos do so well. People love those videos. Or if you have lipstick, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here too, but let's just go with it. These are ways specifically that makeup brands can show texture, and I'll get to the skincare brands after. But so taking anything, a fork, a little spatula, anything that you can break up the eyeshadow, or a blush palette, any kind of palette, powder palette, powder-based makeup, breaking it up. Those videos, they do so well, and it really helps show the texture. It helps show if your eyeshadow has a lot of kickback or not, if it's gonna have a lot of fallout or not. It really does help show the consumer how it's gonna blend, how it's gonna wear on their skin. So it's not just a fun, catchy kind of video. It really can help them make an informed decision on your formula. So, and then if you have anything that's cream-based, you could use a skincare spatula to kind of scoop it out of the product. You can use your fingers. The sort of painting spatulas, the little that have a little metallic end to it, that's a little spatula, those work really well for kind of smushing and blending around lipsticks. And those videos do really well too. And that can also be used to show how your colors blend together. If that's sort of a selling point for you, is mixing and matching and layering, you can blend together different products, different shades. I see a lot of brands doing that, and it's an excellent demonstration kind of video, and it does show that texture. You can use a pastry cutter, a cake decorator, those like flat plastic things that have like the teeth on the edges, all on one edge, where it's kind of like where you take like a Lazy Susan and you turn the cake and you hold this flat, tall thing against the icing and it creates those ridges. That's what some brands will use when they take it and run it through lip gloss or hair conditioner or body butter. That's what some of them use. I'll leave some links below, a little section of under texture shots, props for making texture. just so I can link them down below so you guys can know what I'm talking about, and so you can get them if you want to. But yeah, all that stuff is available on Amazon. All of it's fairly affordable, or you can go into, go into Michael's and look around at the cake decorating section and get some kind of inspo. Those big flat spatulas that are for decorating cakes, those are good for moving around body butter. And then the smaller spatulas, the little like skincare spatulas that you'll see bloggers or vloggers take and run it through a little cream pot of something when they kind of scoop it out, that first scoop shot. Those spatulas, you can get those little skincare spatulas off Amazon for under $10. They're really great. They're really an essential for doing texture shots. You do want to take the time to do those in video, but then you can also take the time to take some still shots while you've got that mess going. That's what I always do. I never do just video or just still shots when I'm making a lot of texture. I take video and photo because, why not? I've got the mess out. Before I clean it up, might as well get as much content as I can. And you do want to post a combination of both the video and photo on your feed anyway, when it comes to that texture. Now for skincare, scoop it, smear it, swipe it on your skin, show it being rubbed into your skin to show how quickly it absorbs or to show how occlusive it is. Again, that's what those little skincare spatulas are great for. Those are also great for spreading it. If you see kind of whenever there's just like a little swipe of skincare as opposed to the whole frame taken up by the skincare, and it's just a little dollop kind of spread. Those little spatulas are great for that. Also, the back of a spoon or a butter knife. I've used both of those for making those little swatches. You definitely want to take the time to do some really pretty texture shots for your content types. Now, number 2 is testimonials, product reviews. Those are essential. I always tell brands when I start working with them that they need to get their product out there. That's their biggest responsibility. It's not trying to get sales right off the bat. It's doing the legwork that's going to help bring sales. And one of those things is getting product reviews on your website, not just on social media. You need to build up product reviews on your website. And once you've done that, you can share them to social media as often as you want. Whenever I do social media management for a skincare or beauty brand, I usually do 1 testimonial per week is about the frequency that I do of it. And that can be a still shot, that can be a video. It should be both. You should be mixing in both. You can do a carousel. So you could do 1 product and show different reviews of that same product, or you could show just general different product reviews, or you could just focus on one really good one. And it can be text overlay over graphics, over one of your product photos. Texture shots are a great background for putting text overlay for product reviews. You can do the little talk bubble. And if you use apps, if you use apps for creating posts, you will have seen them. There are just so many apps out there, and they all have templates for product reviews that make it really easy, where you can put in the little talk bubble, for the review text, and you can put how many stars they gave you very, very easily. Just use an app for that. Any like Templey, just any of those, product post template apps, they're gonna have templates for product reviews in them. It makes it so much easier. And that's really something that's gonna help with branding. That's something that's really helpful. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, you want to have the right kind of content. If somebody comes to your page and they start poking around, looking around, a really good solid set of product reviews is something that is going to catch their eye and is something that's going to help with branding immediately if they've made their way over to your account on Instagram. If you work with influencers or UGC content creators, you can have them do testimonial reviews. You can put those video testimonial reviews on your Instagram as a reel, those are very powerful. They can be really helpful as ads. So if you already have a lot of product reviews on your website, great, work with them to create content. If you don't, that's one of your biggest jobs right now, is start getting your product out there, get people to try it, get people to leave reviews on your website. Number 3 for main content types you should have is niche related tips, especially if you are a beauty brand, especially if you're a skincare brand or hair care brand. There are a lot of different tips that you can give to be of value. You want to put out valuable content, and one of the ways is to be informative, to give lots of tips to your followers, but you have to make sure that it's valuable. It can't just be, you know, general tips about an ingredient that everybody's already heard 1,000 times. You really want to do your research here. Make sure that you're looking at like your 5 top competitors on Instagram and see what they're posting. Look at what they're posting when they do tips. If it's a big brand with a well-managed account, they're gonna have informative tips posts. So you wanna look at those and see what they're posting, and see if you can't research and find a way to present it in a different way, or find something that's even more informative. And that way you know that you're kind of getting a leg up on the competition there, and that you're providing unique information. It needs to be unique and valuable. And stretch it out. I probably talked about this in one of my other vlogs about how people try to put, I think I might have put it in my like top 5 mistakes brands make on social media, probably, because brands will try to put in so much information in one post. They just want to just put it all into one post. And I'm like, hang on, slow down. You have an unlimited number of posts, you know, break it down into bite-sized chunks. It doesn't have to be all about every single benefit of every single product all in one post. Take one ingredient. Just make sure that when you're sharing that one ingredient, that you're sharing something a little unique about it that maybe isn't what's been shared by all the other brands that have that ingredient in their products too. It just takes a little bit of extra research, but it's totally worth it. Now, number 4 on the content types you should have on your Instagram is your process. Share your process. You can share yourself making it. That's one of the best performing types, is showing kind of a bird's eye view of, you know, you getting in there, mixing those ingredients. Show that process. It helps build brand trust. It helps show transparency, that like, look, this is exactly what we do. This is exactly how we do it. And it really helps with transparency and brand trust big time. You can share packaging it. You can share packing it to ship. That's just a really nice visual way of showing your product, showing your branding. If one of your selling points is that you use only recycled materials with your packing and shipping materials, then showing yourself packing it up is a nice visual way of communicating that selling point. And it helps make a connection. I see bigger brands doing it all the time, and they do it because it helps build that trust, but it also helps build a bit of connection. It pulls the viewer in. It makes them feel more connected to you on a more personal level. It kind of lets them in behind the scenes, right? It can help boost your sort of popularity. If you are packaging a lot of sales, it looks good. It's like, hey, look, these other people are ordering, you know, this is what I'm packaging up. It's a way to boost your popularity that way, or kind of boost your image, the sort of, what is the word I'm looking for? Appearance, the appearance of popularity. If you suddenly have a bunch of orders that you need to fill, use that time to show yourself packaging up all those orders so that it makes you look good. Also, with sharing your process, is don't be afraid to be real. Share your triumphs, you know, that's great. That's amazing. But share your failures. Don't be afraid to share your failures. Everybody messes up. It's human. It's the most relatable thing you can post is making a mistake. If you make a mistake, get that phone out. If you spilled a big batch of something, get your camera out, start rolling, you know. It's just relatable. It's a way to connect with your followers in a special way. I know it sounds silly, but it's just so relatable. Everybody makes mistakes. So we have texture shots, testimonials, niche related tips, and your process. Now, number 5 in the 5 content types you should have on your Instagram is entertaining content. It can be funny, it can be aspirational. Being funny can be a little bit tricky sometimes because it should be niche related. You don't want to just copy some funny trend that has nothing to do with beauty if you're a beauty brand. One recent example is the Olympics, right? Curling is funny. Everybody thinks curling is hilarious because it is. It just looks completely ridiculous, right? So I saw a local bookshop take one of their books and slide it across the floor, and they were using a Swiffer to do curling. You could totally do that with a beauty product. I mean, why not? Like that's, it's just ridiculous, and it makes people laugh. Make people laugh that they're gonna share. You want your content shared. Anything that is relatable or funny. Those are the 2 most kind of content types that get shared, not just liked and interacted with, but shared with other people, is if it's relatable or if it's funny. Anything with animals. And again, it might seem like, oh, how can I make that niche related? How can I make that beauty related? But like I saw one of my previous clients, they had a picture of a cat. I probably talked about this last time too. They had when I was talking about content in a different video, but she was a cat that was just like sparkling and shimmering all over and was just like, you know, and it was like me when I finished my skincare routine, my clean skincare routine or whatever, you know, like that's a good example of how you can incorporate animals. It's like the simplest hack is use animals, use cute animals. People like it. It's cute. It's funny. It's relatable. Use animals. Find a way to put animals into your content. Now, aspirational, that is another way of being entertaining that's a lot easier than trying to be funny. And it can be any number of things. Self-care. Self-care is so easy to weave into skincare and beauty content. It's just so easy. Anything wellness related, self-care related, that's going to be sort of aspirational in lifestyle type of content. Or beauty routines. If you have a really beautiful skincare line, a nice skincare routine can be aspirational. It doesn't have to be just informative. Sometimes I'll do skincare routines where it's more aesthetically pleasing and the music is nice and it makes it just a little bit more aspirational as opposed to just educational. And the same thing with still shots, just anything that is more aesthetically pleasing. Just a beautiful photo can be very aspirational. You can show the end result, really beautiful skin, instead of a before and after, just showing the after in a really beautiful, aesthetically pleasing way. Again, that can be very aspirational for somebody that's wanting to have better skin or better makeup. Flat lays are still going strong. If you have makeup, you can put it in a nice flat lay. If it's skincare, a beautiful texture shot. That's kind of mixing in 2 different tips here, but you can take a nice texture shot that's really, really beautiful, and that can be aspirational. Or again, showing the skin afterwards. I really like it whenever somebody has like, let me just, my concealer, whenever it's like a sort of shoulders up when they're not wearing anything, or they just have a nice clean tank top on and they're just on a nice clean surface and holding the product and showing their skin. That's a nice aspirational kind of bit of content that really just you know, you aspire to that kind of beauty. We're the beauty industry. Let's show something beautiful. That's the easiest way to be aspirational with your contents, just to show beauty, whether it's lifestyle or just the face or just the product itself. That is definitely something you should be including in your content types. So that is it. Those are the 5 different sort of main types. There are a lot of other little things that could kind of fit in, and I feel like they fit under any, you know, one of those other categories pretty much. So I think it really covers everything pretty much. And this is coming from a social media manager and content creator. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions about any of it. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.